My name is Dr. Sandye Poitier Johnson, and collective impact is not new to me. 50 years ago, telling my age, I was a struggling high school student, was with the wrong crowd, did not respect my parents, was not doing well in high school. And if it was not for the collective efforts of my community, the church, Mr. Teddy, who ran the candy store on the corner, all the aunts who were never related to me who lived in my building, if all of them had not worked collectively with my parents, I may not have graduated from high school. I was told that I should go to cosmetology school. My parents, with some support, sent me outside of New York City to Morgan State University. Changed my life because I was in a whole different environment. Went from a D student to A. Came back, got my master's at Bank Street and my doctorate from Columbia. So I know that collective impact can work. And so now, today, I am the co-director of the Harlem Renaissance Education Pipeline. And the Harlem Renaissance Education Pipeline consists of a cross-sector of organizations that have come together with a shared mission and vision with no one organization leading it, and to focus on District 5 to improve the student outcomes of the district in this community. Harlem is quickly being gentrified, and we are experiencing an economic and housing boom. But the benefits of that boom is not being reflected in the public schools, either in human capital or resources. And so educational attainment is the pathway to success. And when I was growing up in District 5, I did not go to school in District 5. I went outside, traveled an hour and a half in order to go to school. And we want families in our community to have the choice of whether they have quality schools in their community they live in. And if they choose to send their children outside their community, it should be a choice and not a forced option. And we know it can happen. Many of the people who are politicians, who are very successful, who have been presidents, who have been senators, all went to public schools. We're focusing on public schools because even though there are private and charter and Catholic schools, most of our kids in this community go to public schools. Our district services over 13,000 students. And there are, don't get me wrong, there are bright spots in our district. There are some schools that are doing well, but every school should be doing well. Every school should be offering quality educational opportunities. Every school should be exposing our kids outside the 10 blocks that they live in, so that when they make decisions, they don't make decisions that are very focused and limited. So I was told that I only had a limited time, and I could talk all day about this, but we were excited. We have been in operation for 2 years. It's a very slow process. We have gathered 25 partner organizations, and PASS is one of them. So an example of collective impact is we were able to get this space for them free of charge so that they wouldn't have to struggle with resources. And PASS has given us a website manager to help us develop a website, for our organization. So that's kind of an example of how we partner, because we work in silos. Every organization only focuses on their organization, but how powerful can we be if we all get together and join our resources for one common vision and one common mission? So I'd like to show you this video. We made it in hopes of getting a grant to help with establishing a stronger infrastructure for our organization. And so this video will kind of take you into a deeper level about what collective impact is, and I hope you enjoy it.
Harlem Renaissance Education Pipeline, taking educational opportunities from inspiration to implementation. No dreams deferred. Harlem, the mecca for the Harlem Renaissance era, is currently experiencing gentrification, which has resulted in an economic and housing boom. However, the benefits of gentrification are not being reflected either in resources or diversity in the public schools in the Harlem community. The dream of having quality and effective public schools in our community that have significant student outcomes has been a dream deferred for too long. The Harlem Renaissance Education Pipeline, HREP, a collective impact initiative, consists of a broad cross-sector of community organizations and institutions that have come together with a shared vision and mission to improve student outcomes in the public school system in Harlem, focusing particularly on District 5. District 5 has a Title I designation as a district and has struggled for decades to significantly improve student performance.
My involvement with education began in the mid-70s. It was at that time that I began to recognize the challenges that many of our students were facing. I got a first-class education all the way through high school. It caused me to wonder what was going on in the schools, that children were not getting my level of education that I received in New York.
In my opinion, there are some excellent and very progressive schools in Harlem. However, when you look at the totality of all of our schools, there are not enough schools that are having great outcomes.
I would describe a school that's considered high quality as a school that has great staff members, not only teachers, but others in the school that help you and encourage you.
I have many friends in schools in the community who are not given the same opportunities that I am. Me being in a school that doesn't have all the opportunities but has most, hearing that my friends don't have like any of them, it makes me feel bad.
How do we operationalize and how do we view quality, right? So, you know, quality enough for who? It's okay if you don't get, the best books or the best teachers. It's okay if the kids in Midtown, that they get the best resources. I think for me, gratefully, I was able to go to a school that cultivated my leadership skills and also provided an environment where scholars got to learn. And it's no coincidence now that I lead social change trips all around the world, that I'm doing social change work, and then I'm also doing policy work because I understand the power of social change, but also of development. And I got that from going to Thurgood Marshall.
Where I have my local city council persons, where I have our assembly persons, the chancellor of the Department of Education, all working in concert. You can't lose because you're orchestrating all of them to focus on the education of our children.
The beauty of collective impact is that we can provide all of the necessary interventions within everyone's respective wheelhouse. From the economic development standpoint, what we've seen through our relationship, Abyssinian Development Corporation, with Thurgood Marshall Academy, is that we have been able to infuse the resources to help them catch up to their peers, and because of that, we've seen some of the top performing students in our district. We've received some of the top test scores and grades on our report card because of the support system, but then also the resources that are there.
That's why it's very, very important that we have this effort to combine all of our resources and all of our intelligence, collective intelligence, so that every school in Harlem is outstanding.
HREP from the very beginning has engaged the community on multiple levels. They've engaged the individual. They've also engaged at a community leadership table. They have brought anchor entities to the forefront and really forming that collective unit to address improving the educational outcomes here in the community.
We've always had a seat at the table to share our ideas, to lend our voice as parents, to the process of what we think is best for our children.
The Harlem Renaissance Education Pipeline is the best vehicle because those of us who are involved are on the ground.
And when I think about education and I think about low-income families, when I think of HREP, I think of a group of people who are really connected to the issues that those particular families face.
And it focuses on, and this was something that was unique to us, a pipeline. We can take you from Head Start in a public, free system, take you through lower school, middle school, and high school. Education is a right that all people should have, and we should not allow for our system to be divided based on race and based on economics.
What happens to a dream deferred?
I dream of our district, District 5, being a district where every single student exceeds state standards.
Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun?
I dream of a world where the community is better than the school.
Or fester like a sore and then run?
I dream of becoming renowned in whatever field I pursue.
Does it stink like rotten meat?
I dream of a community that's beaming and bustling with economic vibrancy.
Or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet?
I dream of an education system that serves all children.
Maybe it just sags like a heavy load.
I dream of a world where I actually don't have a job anymore, meaning that I don't have to go into the Senate and argue for basic necessities and needs for our children.
Or does it explode?
I dream of a community where equal access to education, economic opportunities, and the advancement of life is something that is the standard and not the exception. And we believe we can make that happen through the Harlem Renaissance Education Pipeline, and we're committed to seeing that happen.
Harlem Renaissance Education Pipeline.
I'm so excited about that video. I produced it. I wrote the script. I never wrote a script before. But when you have the passion of knowing what's right, it comes very easy. So I'd like to end with one of my favorite quotes. Dr. Martin Luther King said, "The measure of a person is not where they stand in times of comfort and convenience, but where they stand in times of challenge and controversy." We cannot let any obstacles stop us from providing the best educational opportunities for all kids. Doesn't matter where they come from, where they live, what their religion is. We must make sure that this happens. These are hard times. And we have to make sure that all of our children have high quality educations. We will not let anything stand in our way. And we're going to make it happen by all means necessary. Thank you.